How can secure socket layer/transport layer security, SSL/TLS, enhance web security?
SSL/TLS provides secure communication over the Internet by encrypting data transmitted between a client and a server, protecting it from eavesdropping and tampering.
Describe the concept of pharming in cybersecurity.
Pharming is a cyber attack where attackers redirect website traffic to a fraudulent website, usually to steal login credentials or financial information.
What are cookies in web security, and how are they used?
Cookies are small pieces of data stored on a user's computer by a website. They are used to remember user preferences and track user activity, but can also be misused for tracking and potential security risks.
What is the purpose of a digital forensics investigation?
Digital forensics investigations collect, analyze, and preserve digital evidence to determine the cause of security incidents or cyber crimes.
How does a passwordless authentication system work, and what are its advantages?
Passwordless authentication systems use alternative methods like biometrics, hardware tokens, or one-time passwords for authentication. Advantages include increased security and ease of use for users.
What is a hash, and how is it used in cybersecurity?
A hash is a fixed-size string of characters generated by applying a mathematical function to data. In cybersecurity, hashes are used to verify data integrity and securely store passwords.
Explain the concept of security through obscurity and its limitations.
Security through obscurity involves relying on keeping details of security measures secret. However, it should not be the primary security strategy since attackers can eventually discover the measures through reverse engineering or other means.
What is the role of a Chief Information Security Officer, CISO?
A Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, is responsible for managing and overseeing an organization's information security strategy and implementation.
What are some common wireless network security vulnerabilities, and how can they be mitigated?
Common wireless network vulnerabilities include weak encryption, unauthorized access, and rogue access points. They can be mitigated by using strong encryption, example, WPA2, enabling MAC filtering, and conducting regular network scans.
Describe the concept of least common mechanism in security.
The least common mechanism principle suggests limiting shared resources between users or applications to minimize the impact of a security breach.
How does the use of a virtual private network, VPN, enhance security when accessing public Wi-Fi networks?
A VPN encrypts internet traffic, protecting it from potential eavesdropping and ensuring privacy and data security when using public Wi-Fi networks.
What is a logic bomb in the context of cybersecurity?
A logic bomb is a piece of code intentionally inserted into software to execute a malicious action when certain conditions are met, such as a specific date or event.
How can companies secure their cloud infrastructure and data?
Companies can secure their cloud infrastructure and data by implementing strong access controls, encrypting data, and regularly monitoring for unusual activities or security breaches.
Describe the concept of risk mitigation in cybersecurity.
Risk mitigation involves taking measures to reduce the potential impact of identified security risks and vulnerabilities.
What are some common network security best practices?
Common network security best practices include using firewalls, intrusion detection systems, strong access controls, regular patching, and network segmentation.
How can companies ensure that data backups are secure?
Companies can ensure secure data backups by using encryption, storing backups in an off-site location, and regularly testing backup restoration processes.
What is the role of encryption in securing sensitive data?
Encryption transforms data into an unreadable format using encryption algorithms and keys. It is crucial for protecting sensitive data from unauthorized access and disclosure.
What are some common cybersecurity threats facing organizations today?
Common cybersecurity threats include ransomware, phishing attacks, insider threats, DDoS attacks, and malware infections.
Describe the concept of end-to-end encryption in messaging applications.
End-to-end encryption ensures that messages are encrypted on the sender's device and decrypted on the receiver's device, preventing unauthorized access during transmission.
How can companies ensure secure software development practices?
Companies can ensure secure software development practices by conducting code reviews, using secure coding guidelines, and implementing continuous security testing.
Explain the concept of a security token in multi-factor authentication.
A security token is a physical or virtual device that generates one-time passwords or other authentication codes for use during multi-factor authentication.
What is a data breach, and how can organizations respond to one?
A data breach is the unauthorized access, disclosure, or loss of sensitive information. Organizations should respond by identifying the breach, containing it, notifying affected parties, and improving security measures.
How can companies protect sensitive data when disposing of old hardware?
Companies can protect sensitive data by securely wiping or physically destroying storage media before disposing of old hardware.
Describe the concept of application whitelisting in cybersecurity.
Application whitelisting allows only approved applications to run on a system, preventing unauthorized or potentially malicious software from executing.
What are botnets, and how do they work?
Botnets are networks of compromised computers controlled by a central command, used for various malicious activities such as DDoS attacks or spam distribution.
What is the role of a security information and event management (SIEM) system?
A SIEM system collects, analyzes, and correlates security event logs from various sources to detect and respond to security incidents.
How can companies secure their remote workers' devices and connections?
Companies can secure remote workers' devices and connections by providing VPN access, requiring multi-factor authentication, and implementing mobile device management (MDM) solutions.
Describe the concept of anomaly detection in cybersecurity.
Anomaly detection involves identifying deviations from normal patterns in network or user behavior, which could indicate potential security threats.
What is the principle of separation of duties in access control?
The principle of separation of duties ensures that no single individual has complete control over critical operations or sensitive information, reducing the risk of insider abuse.
How can companies protect against insider threats from disgruntled employees?
Companies can protect against insider threats by implementing access controls, monitoring user activity, and fostering a positive work environment to reduce the likelihood of disgruntlement.
What is a web application firewall, and how does it enhance web security?
A web application firewall, WAF, is a security device that filters and monitors HTTP/HTTPS requests and responses, protecting web applications from common attacks like SQL injection and cross-site scripting, XSS.
How can companies secure their data in cloud storage services?
Companies can secure data in cloud storage by using strong encryption, managing access controls, and monitoring user activity and data usage.
Describe the concept of data loss prevention in cybersecurity.
Data loss prevention, DLP, involves implementing technologies and policies to prevent sensitive data from being unintentionally or maliciously leaked outside an organization.
What are some common cybersecurity challenges facing organizations today?
Common cybersecurity challenges include dealing with advanced persistent threats, APTs, managing security in a rapidly evolving technology landscape, and handling the shortage of skilled cybersecurity professionals.
How can companies prepare for and respond to a cyber incident?
Companies can prepare for and respond to a cyber incident by having an incident response plan in place, regularly testing it through tabletop exercises, and ensuring clear communication and coordination among response teams.
Describe the concept of security by default in software and device settings.
Security by default means that software and devices should be configured with secure settings by default, reducing the risk of users unintentionally leaving them vulnerable.
What is a virtual machine, and how is it used in cybersecurity?
A virtual machine, VM, is a software emulation of a computer system. It is used in cybersecurity for sandboxing, testing malware, and isolating applications to enhance security.
How can companies ensure the secure storage and transmission of sensitive documents?
Companies can ensure secure document storage and transmission by using encryption, secure file transfer protocols, and access controls.
Describe the concept of security awareness training for employees.
Security awareness training educates employees about cybersecurity risks, best practices, and how to recognize and respond to potential threats.
What is the principle of defense in depth, and how is it implemented in network security?
The principle of defense in depth involves layering multiple security measures to protect an organization's assets. This includes using firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and access controls at different points in the network.
What are some common indicators of a potential malware infection on a computer?
Common indicators of malware infection include slow performance, unexpected pop-ups, disabled security software, and unexplained network activity.
How can companies prevent and respond to ransomware attacks effectively?
Companies can prevent ransomware attacks by conducting regular backups, using up-to-date security software, and educating employees about phishing threats. If attacked, they should isolate affected systems, report the incident, and avoid paying the ransom.
Describe the concept of single sign-on, SSO, in cybersecurity.
Single sign-on, SSO, allows users to access multiple applications or systems using a single set of credentials, reducing the number of passwords they need to manage.
What are some best practices for securely managing user passwords?
Best practices for securely managing user passwords include enforcing strong password policies, using multi-factor authentication, and hashing passwords before storage.
How can companies protect against advanced persistent threats, APTs?
Companies can protect against APTs by using threat intelligence, network segmentation, behavior-based detection, and regular security monitoring.
What are cross-site scripting, XSS, attacks, and how can they be mitigated?
XSS attacks involve injecting malicious scripts into web applications to target users' browsers. They can be mitigated by input validation and output encoding to prevent unauthorized script execution.
Describe the concept of security information sharing among organizations.
Security information sharing involves organizations sharing threat intelligence and cybersecurity insights to collectively improve their defenses against cyber threats.
How can companies protect against data breaches caused by third-party vendors?
Companies can protect against vendor-related data breaches by conducting thorough security assessments of vendors, requiring contractual security obligations, and monitoring third-party access.
Explain the concept of identity and access management, IAM, in cybersecurity.
Identity and access management, IAM, involves the processes and technologies used to manage user identities, access rights, and permissions within an organization.
How can organizations ensure that employees follow cybersecurity best practices?
Organizations can ensure that employees follow cybersecurity best practices through ongoing security awareness training, regular reminders, and strong leadership support for security initiatives. I'm hungry. I need to drink milk. Buy me milk, please. Don't worry if you don't have money, I will drink water instead.